Hey everybody, you've got Kathy Flett here with the Alberta Women's Independence Network. I'm solo today. As can happen, life happens. And Angela got called away for the weekend. And so I get to do this interview in conjunction with the Alberta Nation. Oh, she's the one that does this all the time. Alberta Nation calendar. And we bring all the women around the province to you with our X Factor series, X being the X chromosome. And I'm kind of bummed out that Angela's not with us today because I've got an amazing guest coming on to talk to us. She has been part of this movement for a very long time and is going to kind of walk us through a little bit of history. I don't want to give away any of her story, but she's an absolute powerhouse in this. And so I would like to introduce everybody to Lois Biel. Hey, Lois, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Kathy.
Good.
Was a pretty explosive interview. I'm not sure I qualify for all those words.
Oh, you do. And then some, and then some. So to give everybody, I guess, a little bit of history without all of your history, you and I met a couple years ago, I think, through just a bunch of political shenanigans that we both like to get into, and hit it off pretty quickly. And then you began to share your story with me. And that's where I want to pick up, because I think too many across the country, honestly, believe that this whole independence thing just got here. Like this is something that's brand new. And it's not. It's not. So why don't we start with your family getting involved in this?
Right. Okay. This did not start yesterday. Like a lot of people think, where did this come from? But in my family, I have an uncle that was very involved, affected his family enormously. And I say enormously, not in always a good way, but they persevered. And I'm going to just put it up here right now. My uncle wrote a book.
Okay.
We'll get into that a little bit. But
yeah,
it was he was very connected and very much in favor of, basically either the East gets their act together or we need to get out. And so he fought that battle way back in early 1980s, late 1970s. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his book because this is what really pulled me in. So I'm going to go back to February of 2020.
Okay.
And something happened inside of me. And, with the audience, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a faith-believing person. And when God puts something on me, it doesn't go away. And this didn't go away. And so one day, February 2020, I was somehow led to needing to get a copy of his book. And I didn't have one, but I knew it was out there. And I contacted his oldest son, Lowell, and I said, any chance I can get a copy of your dad's book? And that's when I found out they didn't have one. Elmer had given all of the books away and they couldn't even track one down. And I said, well, what about the publishing house? The publishing house went under, so that was gone. And I'm like, well, what about the manuscript? Well, somehow that got erased off the computer. That went missing. So there's nothing. And I'm like, okay, I am supposed to do something with this book. I don't even know why. I had never read the book. I really didn't know what it all consisted of, but I knew that he was very, very deliberate in his work. And so one of my other cousins said she had a book. And I said, oh, can I have it? Because I want to reproduce it and put it in PDF form. And she says, no, I can't give it to you because I promised it to Lowell. And I'm like, oh, great. Okay. So I called Lowell and I said, Lowell, can I have the book? And I promise you, I will take it apart very eloquently. And then I will get it back to you. But I just want to get it reproduced. And I don't know why I want to get it reproduced, but and he was sure, take it. You have it. Yeah. So I took it apart and I thought this is going to be easy peasy. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to scan it in and it's going to be PDF. No, And I scanned it in, and lo and behold, if all the I's and one, like everything became, the L's became ones, and I's became exclamation mark. Like it was just like, so I had to go
Yeah.
through it word for word and literally reproduce it. And so
Wow.
we it took me, I worked 2 weeks full on 24/7 on this book. And Al can vouch that I did this. So he proofed it a few times. I proofed it many times. And you know how it is when you proof something, you can always read the mistake over again. And you
Mm-hmm.
read it as it should be versus what it actually is in the book. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I did that and we got it out. Now we have a PDF. Now what? I, and then all this COVID stuff came down, and then there started to be murmurings of independence. And I'm like, okay, who can I send this book to? And I just
Right.
started sending it out to different people. And I said, this might be of interest to you. Like, and lo and behold, it just, then I had people ask me for it. And it's so connected right now with where we are. There's so much to it.
Wow.
And I know, like for my uncle, one of the things he said in his book was, I'm just going to read it, was his desire. He says, Elmer's hope was that his grandchildren will live to see the day when the West becomes the type of country our pioneers tried to establish. Now the torch has been passed on, and now we are in the place with his grandchildren. His grandchildren are now adults, and now the torch it's been passed on. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe I just have the same passion as he did. And when he was doing this, I was just a young mom, just had my first baby. So just starting to raise children. So I wasn't
Yeah.
really into all of this. But there's so much. He literally went to England to research all the information within this book. He went to the archives in the library in London. So
Oh
he
my
was
gosh.
very deliberate, Kathy, and he needed to see things with his own eyes. He wasn't just
Right.
going to, yeah, very, very, very important. And so his book is written in such a way that if you want all the facts, you can go through and get all the facts, or you
Mm-hmm.
can do it in a different form. But I highly recommend people to get a hold of it. Like, it's like I said, it was so hard on his family. Believe it or
Mm-hmm.
not, you think when you're exposing something of this nature, and it's just truth, and you're just a desire of your heart, why would you get attacked by the higher ups if there's not
Mm-hmm.
something to this? And that's why
Yep.
I say it's like there's so much, like, I don't even know what to say about it all. It's very disheartening. Like
Yeah.
his older children are now, they're about 10, 12 years older than I am. And and I'm pushing a high number.
That's not that high.
But like my uncle
Wow.
says, he was, okay, I'm going to say this. He was 60 when he did
Mm-hmm.
an interview in 1982, I believe it was. Well, I'm 70. And somebody said something about being old. And he said, no, old is mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And I
That's
thought,
true.
right, what is age? It's just
Yeah.
another year, right? And it was just like, wow. But it's long overdue.
It is. It
It's
is. And
things are not, like, it was bad then,
mm-hmm.
but it's worse. It's worse now.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. And there's a connection with Michael Wagner there too, I think you were
correct.
telling me.
There absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael Wagner was mentored. His start really started with my uncle when I think Michael was like 16,
Yeah.
and he signed into the I don't know what it was. It was the Federation. It wasn't really a party. It was just a confederation of something. But
Okay.
he was there. And so he has a chapter in one of his books about Elmer.
Yeah.
So he got a real start there. And it's really serendipitous how I even met him. And I'm like, that's a whole other story.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
isn't that, yeah. And that's kind of what's happening, isn't it? That all
Yes.
of these kind of, I guess, old strands and strings of this are
Mhm.
coming together. And which is wonderful because, first of all, why reinvent the wheel? It only makes sense to learn from the mistakes of the past rather than do them all over again.
Mhm.
And it shows that there really is a longevity to this.
Correct.
There's a real longevity, and everybody gets to that place in their own time. So when did the light go on for you? Like what happened where you just had that aha moment and said, we got to do this?
It was then in February when I did this book.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going to materialize about it, and I didn't know who was going to start it, and I didn't know where it was going to come from. But it was like, okay, I'm going to take a breath because I get real emotional about this.
I know.
This is very dear to my heart, and I just felt like Elmer's work cannot be in vain. And that's, I think, why I reproduced the book, because as it was, you couldn't get one, so nobody could learn about this, learn about the knowledge that he attained. And he was a very brilliant man, and he wasn't one to take things lightly, and he wasn't one to over exaggerate truth.
Right.
It is what it is, and that's kind of how he was. But it became a huge passion of mine, and I didn't really know why, other than we've seen in that year 2020, we saw so many people lose so much, and it was just unfair because it was all political. I hate to
Totally.
say that, but it was all political.
Yeah.
And people close to us, I'll leave names out just to say, spare them. But it was just no. Some survived, some did really well. But some lost their homes, they lost their jobs, they've got nothing, and I'm hearing from them, and they're destitute. And this should not be.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing so much more now, and I am not. If you could have asked me 40 years ago, politics was not on my radar screen at all, at all. And so I don't necessarily say I'm politically minded. I'm truth minded, and I'm all about people. Like, let's look after each other. Why do we
Yeah.
not care about our neighbor? Why is it just about me?
Yeah.
Like, I need to care about you, Kathy. If you're having a hard time and you kind of go, I don't have any food. You know what? We have extra.
Yeah.
Let us help you. We need to move into that place where we care about each other that much.
I agree.
I agree. We're just building empires. It's my empire.
Yeah.
You can go find your own. And that's not the way to be productive.
It isn't. It isn't. As you've watched this, even back, like watching what Elmer went through and then the different iterations of this movement, are there patterns? Are there things that kind of consistently come up that stay true to the independence movement? Or with every generation, do you think there's something just a little bit different that takes it that next step, like when the baton is passed, sort of
I
thing?
think it's getting stronger and stronger. I think the seed has been planted, and we need to nurture it. And I would have to say that it's stronger than ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would agree.
they did have a rally back then, regarding independence, which I think people need to understand. Like you said earlier, this did not begin yesterday.
So we really are standing on the shoulders of giants who went before us.
Correct. And it wasn't easy for them at all.
No.
And I know the work that you've put into this, and I commend you for the time and energy. It's not easy, but when you have that desire and a passion, it's the easy becomes not easier, but it becomes a mission, really.
Yeah, it's
Like if
palatable.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. If I don't do this, then who?
exactly.
And that's why I said we all need to do our part.
Yeah.
And what is our part? And
Well, it
I
could
would
be
say to people,
anything, right?
what's that?
Whatever people's role could be whatever they feel like they can contribute to it.
Correct. And it might be just sharing with your neighbor.
Yeah.
It might be that simple. Just talking to your neighbor and say, do you know anything about this?
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to start doing, because I think that's where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think so now the petition is out, signature collecting is happening, is very exciting
Very exciting.
and very exciting. What do you think might be some of our biggest challenges in the coming year?
Well, there's obviously a higher up that maybe doesn't want this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the people go, I would say it's fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are walking in fear of they're in their comfort zone, even though things might not be great for them. It's like, well, what if? And I go, just sit down and think about what's your greatest fear if this should happen. Like if you should sign. And signing doesn't mean we're putting this referendum forward. Signing doesn't
Yeah.
sign your life away. And signing doesn't mean you've all of a sudden become part of an organization. It just means you're saying, yes, let's let the people have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really important. And so with fear comes lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And I would say, if I could encourage anybody, if you have not been, and I say this to people, if you haven't been to an APP event to hear, or it doesn't even have to be an APP event, just somebody like yourself, hear what they have to say and hear the benefits that we could have, go to one, and then come back to me and tell me why I'm a lunatic for believing that we should do this. And most of the time they laugh and they go, lunatic? And I said, well, tell me, like, go to it and give me an explanation of what's wrong with this.
Yeah.
Would this be broken? And after they see the presentation, their world changes.
It really does. It really does.
Changes.
And now, one of the things that has to happen as part of the process is the Prosperity Project gets to kind of sit on the back burner for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And we're going to see a bunch of events with a different organization called Stay Free Alberta.
Okay.
Because that is going to be the third-party advertiser for this whole petition. And that has been kind of interesting, helping people understand that this is a political problem. It requires a political solution. And as part of that, there's political rules to follow, including with this petition, right? Which is good. You want that. You want there to be some boundaries kind of around it. Otherwise, anybody would just do foolish things, and who knows what that would bring.
Right.
Yeah. So I think in the coming months, as we're doing this petition thing, people are going to be a little bit confused about what's going on if they haven't completely stayed in the know. But I'm with you. Then get out to the events. Go find out. Go learn.
Yes, go.
What is the process?
You lose nothing. It's just an evening.
Yeah.
You gain knowledge.
Well, that's it. That's it. And I think, too, the other thing that I've noticed is that the folks who maybe wouldn't typically or even historically vote the same as us or share the same political ideologies as us, when they're brave and they come to these things and discover we don't actually have 6 heads and horns hanging out of all of them, we're just normal, regular people that want everybody to succeed at being their very best. When they come, it's life-changing for those folks as well.
It absolutely is.
And we're starting to see that, and that's making the people that don't want to see this happen very nervous, because it is becoming a unifying factor. And I think that's exciting. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's not about a party.
No.
It's not like this party or that party, or this is all United Conservative Party, or it's all NDP. It's not about a party. It's about us collectively coming together as people and moving. I just, I kind of like to say to people, like, okay, for Alberta to become independent, your backyard isn't going to look different.
Right.
You're not all of a sudden going to be growing palm trees and you're everything that is still familiar. It doesn't really change. But your income, the money you keep might be a little bit better. There's so many things that are so much better. And I'm not in the know, like, you're amazing when you speak and you share things. And I'm like, I could never do that. I couldn't remember all of that. So it's like, but I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad somebody can. We've got people like you. We've got people like Mitch. We've got people like Dennis Modry. We've got people like Michael Wagner. We've got people like Cam Davies. We've got people like David Park. We've got all these people that want the best for Alberta. And if you don't like some of those people, that's your choice.
That's all right.
But I'm all about hearing people out. I'm all about giving people second chances. But this thing with the West, I mean, we've got to wake up, because the East, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And we're just being bamboozled. It's like, how long do you stay? I use this loosely, but how long do you stay in a really, really bad marriage? We get beat up, we get, and somebody once said, like, if we weren't part of Canada and somebody said, well, like, we want you to join us and we want you to give all of our resources to us. We want you to do, and there's the benefits for us are like very slim. Would we actually join?
No, I don't think so.
I'm thinking not either. Like, it's kind of like getting married to somebody and they say, look, I want to marry you, and I know you're really wealthy, so I'll manage the finances. I'll give you peanuts and whatever, and you can scrub the floors, and I'll go party. And I mean, that's pretty silly, but we have to really look at the whole picture.
We do.
And I think Alberta can do it. There's some brilliant, brilliant, brilliant people in this province. Brilliant. And to say, well, how could we do this? Who would our leader be? It will all come together.
It will. It will.
Together.
Even I find I'm having a lot of conversations lately about the different documents that are on the Alberta Prosperity Project's website, because people want a roadmap, right? We always want to know, okay, how do we get from A to B? And I have to try and help people understand there's a lot we don't know.
Right.
There's a lot we don't know. The only thing that we know for sure is how to get to that vote, how to get to that referendum vote. After that, it's a matter of political will. It's who's ever more tenacious about the outcome that's going to see this through to the other side. So we don't have a roadmap for that. We don't know necessarily what dollar we're going to use. We don't know what our constitution is going to say. We don't know what the banking system might look like. There's a lot of stuff we don't know, but that doesn't mean it's not figure outable. Like, that's my new favorite word. It's all figure outable.
I like that. That's good, Kelly. Right? It doesn't mean it's not figure outable. No.
Yeah. And just because, the folks at APP say we should do it this way, or Bruce Party suggests we should do it that way, or Keith Wilson says we should do it this way, or Kathy Flett has her own ideas. That doesn't matter. Like, nothing of anything that any of us have said is in stone yet. We're just trying to get people to start thinking about it.
Right.
And kind of think outside the little box of Alberta that's within the big box of Canada. And so all those names that you mentioned, not everybody likes every one of us, and that's fine. But at least find the one that you that you resonate with the most and hear them out,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Correct. And I haven't got a problem with any of them, and I've heard them all. I personally connected with them, and
Mhm.
everybody wants the same. And what I'm hearing from everybody is, I don't need to be the leader. I
Mm.
don't need to be the leader. We just need to work together.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge, you know. Oh, and I forgot
Yeah.
to mention even Jeff Rath, like another
Mm.
amazing man, you know? Like everybody has, like I kind of word it like this. You all have an energy.
Mm.
And when you put all those energies together, the energy that is united becomes
Yeah.
explosive.
Yeah.
It just is so much more. And so you have a part to play. I have a part to play. And maybe it's not in the limelight. This is really putting me out of my comfort zone, but I'm
I
doing it.
know.
I'm doing it. I'm not a camera girl. I'm like, I'll be the greeter, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need to be happy in our roles and not look at somebody else's, well, they have a more special world than me. No, there
Mm.
isn't. We are a complete body. We have a head, we have a foot, we have toes.
Yeah.
We need to embrace each other and just go talk to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Encourage them, pick them up, take them to a meeting.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ask you to sign anything. You don't have to sign
Mm.
anything, but just
Yeah.
come and hear it out.
Yeah.
Because if you think you know what's being said, you don't.
Exactly.
You don't. You don't.
Exactly. And we need to really remember that mainstream media is not our friend. Like even this morning, I found 3 different articles that just is trash talking the thought of Alberta becoming independent. And I was like, okay, well, backhanded compliment. I guess we're on our way because you're freaking out.
You see, this is what I don't understand. And my uncle went through the same thing. And he went through even harsh. Like
Mm.
it affected business. It affected everything in their life. Like they did everything they could to silence them
Yeah.
and stimulate fear. But you know what? You couldn't do it with him. But he did.
Mm.
He went to his grave, you know, wanting to see this. And I'm sure he'd be smiling on us right now if to see what's going on.
Yeah.
He'd be like, just hoping it actually happens this time.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have nothing to lose,
No.
and it's just like, what have we got? But for us to leave, really, I really like what Bruce Party always says, like for just urging Alberta to get out because it will
Mhm.
wake the rest of Canada up.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
huge. Could we always come back? We could, but would we want to?
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
Well, I like to say, however many provinces decide that they're done with Confederation as it stands now,
Mhm.
that everybody has to leave on their own. We can't go as a bloc. There's so many people that say, oh, well, let's just go as a Western bloc. We can't. Legally, constitutionally, as we follow the rules as much as we can until we can't, we all have to go on our own. But then we can figure out how we want to work together after that.
Correct.
Right? And we can be fabulous neighbors with the country of Saskatchewan, and we can be fabulous trading partners with the country of Quebec. And we can do a lot of things. We'll have the
Mhm.
freedom and the ability to do a lot of things that
Mhm.
we don't. Lois, what is your uncle's full name? And if you've sent me some YouTube videos. If you put his name in YouTube, will this stuff come up?
Maybe, but
Because
it's
he
not.
did some different interviews and things like that, right?
Yeah, the best thing for me to do would be to send them to you, and if people
Just put them
want
up.
them, are you
Okay.
okay with that?
Yeah, of course.
If people
Yeah.
want them, they can contact you, and you can send them out to them. Like I've gone into even the archives of the paper. I've found so many articles.
Wow.
Just it's absolutely amazing. Like when Elliott Trudeau came into power,
Mm-hmm.
it was not a good day.
No, it
Not a
was
good
not.
day.
It was not.
That's when our business took a dive. And that's when Al had to go. He went back to school then, and that's where he started his journey as an engineer.
Wow.
It changed everything.
Yeah.
And so we went from, we had a really nice home, had to sell it, and moved into a little 900 square foot townhouse.
Wow.
But it wasn't, we did it willfully. It was like, I had somebody say to us, so how does it feel going from riches to rags? And I was like, I'm not sure we looked at it like that.
Yeah.
It was what we had to do. And, the thing is we're all going to die and take nothing with us.
Yeah.
So let's just work together. And I don't even know. It's just, I'm going, like, people can contact those that know me. Feel free to contact me. We're hoping, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to set our house up as a signing if somebody wants to come and sign.
Nice.
It's just one of those things. They might have to because we're not going to sit at the door 24/7 and wait for, but contact us or, somebody and we can, if you want to come over driving home from work and you just decide, I want to sign this thing.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Well, and that is the one gift that you definitely bring to this movement is you and your husband both have got such an incredible heart for hospitality.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I mean that, you guys thrive on sharing your home and your food and your gifts and your talents with anybody and everybody. You don't even really care who it is that shows up in the door. And I've always admired that. I've always admired that about you guys.
Can I tell you a little story about that?
Sure.
Before, when we'd moved into our house, it wasn't finished. And actually, it's still not quite finished. But we didn't have stairs to the front door. Dead of winter, somebody, and scripturally it says, you never know when you've encountered angels.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful. We had somebody come to our door, knock on the door. I don't know if they were homeless. I don't know if it was an angel. I don't know what, but they knocked on our door and they were so cold. And I can't even remember what they said or why they came. And I said, we're having soup and sandwiches right now. Would you like to come in and join us?
Mm-hmm.
So they did. They came in, they had a soup and sandwich and left. So you tell me what that's about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. There was no, can you do this for me or that for me? Nothing.
Yeah. No background checks. Who are you? What's going on?
Well, even for the fella that was here, there was nothing. That wasn't like, well, could you give me a little bit more? Could you give me money? Could you give me nothing?
Yeah. Yeah.
We actually couldn't even send him away. He wouldn't even take food with him. So I'm like, God, was this an angel? Was this? I don't know. I don't know. But when that happens, were you going to just throw them away? Like it was very, very memorable for me.
I bet.
Very memorable for me. Mm-hmm.
That is just a perfect story to end this on, because that is quintessential Lois, who would do something like that. Absolutely. You're amazing. Thank you for being my friend.
And you're amazing. Thank you, my friend.
Well, we will see you soon. Monday night, I think, right? Yes,
we will. Yeah. At an event where's the event? Let's shout it out.
It's going to be in Edmonton at the Ukrainian Center on 97th Street. Mm-hmm. And I was asked to come and have a conversation with someone who disagrees with our views on Alberta independence, and we'll see where the conversation goes and how many people show up.
I like your willingness to do that. That's awesome.
I think it'll be fun. And I'll hopefully learn something, because I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me why we shouldn't do this. So
I know, right? Out. That's what I say. Go and tell us why this shouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going to be closed to it. Let's be all open.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Too cool.
All right, my girl.
Thank you, Lois.
You're very welcome.
You have a great rest of your day.
And you as well.